This is Sybert signing into Kane's Wrath on the map, big ol' space garden or something, in the north side as the Pink Traveler 59. This is Beavis and Butthead. To the right of him as the Cyan GDI, this is Sir John's. As the red Nod, this is Sybert. And as the blue Reaper 17 rounding out team number 1, this is Manos.
Oh man, it's all me now, isn't it, buddy? I get to
It
do
is
the
all
intro.
you.
Oh my goodness. Playing the Zocom in the bottom right of the bottom left, we have Epsilon Ray. Joining him as the green screen Reaper 17.
Reaper 17, but yeah.
Bada bing, got it. The green Reaper 17, we have CC Sparts, as well as the yellow GDI. There is GLA Postal Service. And
I love that name.
And finally, as the orange marked of Kane, we have your horse. Oh, this is off the rails immediately.
Bricc.
I love it. Thank you so much for having me here.
I am so glad that we finally got a chance to do this. The two hardest people it seems to be able to schedule things with are you and then Spartacus. And you, at least, I understand, you just going through some big life changes, Kane's Wrath is certainly on the back burner, and then Spartacus works like 100 hours a week. So I'm so glad we were able to schedule this. We have got an insane 4v4 lined up. It is the 4-player or the 8-player variant of Tournament Galaxy, but I don't think it's going to be a boring old everyone sit in their base and camp kind of a game. Even in the south, we have a couple of bikes sneaking in. Sybert going to be able to get it, potentially a kill on a Harvester here right from the get-go. Reaper going to be almost losing a Harvester, and it does look like Epsilon comes in with a couple of APCs, tries to defend, but it's not enough. The Harvester does go down.
Even goes through all the Reaper 17 shields also with just the 3 bikes before he was able to retaliate.
Yeah, Sparta definitely losing out on that. He was not prepped at all for that attack coming in. His descent response was slow. He was not able to get anything up and running. Now, a couple of quick features. We do have EMP control centers on the left and the right. They have already been captured. And these blue Tiberium fields, there are 3 per side, and they grow reasonably quickly. So there is a lot of cash to be grabbed on this map. Epsilon sends out a couple of APCs with rockets to the bottom right-hand corner green field, and there is a potential attack coming
I think
in.
we've got a little issue here with GLA Postal Service. He seems to have thrown a Harvester down to his blue field in the bottom left, but has not given it the order to harvest.
And we all do it.
We all do it, and he's missing out because it's been there for some time. That blue Tiberium would have been really handy in this early game. And I'm seeing lots of smoke trails on it, so I think someone's trying to give him the message, but it is not making it to sender at the current moment.
Sir John's in the north coming in with a big group of pitbulls. 4 of them get nabbed by that EMP, narrowly saving GLA Postal Service's GDI Harvester there. Both teams with some light harassment in the beginning of the game, but overall, both teams are going to be getting basically all 4 players up to a main base and a natural well set up. Now, Sir John's in the north is encroaching with his GDI Harvester, with his GDI MCV, and he is ready to bring the fight.
Got some pit bulls coming back and forth in the north right here. A lot of pit bulls, actually. It seems that
maybe too many pit bulls.
A tad bit. There's, oh my goodness, the EMP catches a good 4 of them.
Now, 4 of those, or some of these pit bulls are actually the wrong color. If you notice, they're red, and that's a nod color in this match. Those are actually hallucinated pit bulls showing up for Sybert. He has snagged some of his allies' units and been able to duplicate them there. Tier 3 comes up for both Sybert and also for Beavis. So both in the north, both players getting Tier 3 very quickly.
Got a whole bunch of Scorpion tanks coming out from Sybert, moving from about in the midfield right now. Probably going to be looking to hit up Epsilon here, who has just a couple of Bloodhounds, and then the Guardian Bloodhounds, if I'm not mistaken, the veteran Pitbulls and APCs. Nothing really too big to stop him, but, you know, he's a little he's not quite committed to the full attack right now, especially with that Guardian turret over there.
Big attack in the north left a Harvester almost dead, but just barely alive. The Pitbull swung in, able to do some damage. It looks like an Eradicator Hexapod coming in from the north. The Warp Chasm is online, and those Scorpion tanks now finally moving in. They might finally find a target to hit.
It's actually, it seems like it's been somewhat of a passive game for 4v4 game like this, with the amount of units that we see kind of huddling up on both sides. There's not a whole lot of bloodshed going on.
Honestly, it's like the calm before the storm. Warp Chasm has been spotted in the north. Bike Buggy going to be coming in. They realize that on their doorstep is an Eradicator Hexapod coming in from a Traveler 59 player. So the opportunity for mecha laming is going to be absolutely insane.
Well, we got Rocket Hammerheads
going to fight.
Got
Rockheads showing up, and are they actually going to get the Warp Chasm? They're going to get it before the Eradicator Hexapod finishes.
There's not enough anti-air.
This is going to be a snipe.
Oh my goodness.
I can't believe he got that in time. Harvester's now getting targeted down. Mass EMP lands, and there's just not nearly enough anti-air here to stop the Hammerheads from causing some serious problems. Juggernauts are going to be the follow-up. GLA Postal Service with a couple of Juggernauts encroaching on this base, and your horse dropping additional disruption towers to provide stealth for the entire advancing front.
Also, GLA Postal Service here is actually, I believe, has a yellow building where they have a Redeemer. Oh, different yellow. Strange color there. Your horse has the Redeemer Engineering Facility, and it is almost done.
They're hoping to keep up this assault. Sir Johns and Beavis have been holding this northern section of the map on that blue Tiberium for far too long. And finally, the team on the left side is getting together to kick them out. Eradicator Hexapod potentially coming up from Sparta in the top left-hand corner. And the Rift Generator gets added on. EMP fires off on both sides, catches the Disruptors in the sky, the Devastator warships, rather. And the Juggernauts get caught on the ground.
All the action seems to be occurring all the way up here in the top left. The volume of Juggernauts here. There were some Spectres making their way around. Eradicator Hexapod is building. Redeemer is up and out. Honestly, this cloaking facility might be doing a hell of a lot more than it looks like as well.
Yeah, those disruption towers completely causing a ton of problems for the team in the north. A little bit of a sneak attack as a couple of Zocom Hammerheads joining together. Beavis is going to be losing his entire main base. His own MCV is getting targeted down, and those are Zone Raiders inside of those Zone Heads. And goodbye, MCV. Power plants will be the next strike. So team in the south has finally got their act together, and they are bringing the pain to the team in the north.
Oh, that's so many Hammerheads. Oh, and they're turning their right back around, and they're going to be eating up all of these little Spectres, going for all the power plants to stop the production. The tier 3 goes down. Command post is gone.
Bricc, I know you love a Zone Raider, and they are featured well in this game.
I love Zone Raiders in a particular. Zone Heads are great, but having that little anti-air to roll with them. One of them looks like they're heroic. I'm seeing little red coming out of them right now. Oh my goodness. Oh, that might be the missile launchers,
Tip core SAM sites. Oh, barely.
Spread.
Yeah, you're right. It has gone heroic. That's deceptive because you think it's a Zone Raider and then it's actually just a rocket squad in there.
Oh.
Huge play by Epsilon, Sparta, GLA Postal Service, and Your Horse all coming together on the north side of the map. But there is a gigantic Reaper 17 army in the south moving forward. Manos has been quiet for most of this game, but he is here, he is loud, and he gets stasis right in the middle of the map.
Oh, these Zone Heads are not... Oh, the Shard Walkers. There was so many heroic guys in there. They're all just turning into wreck. This is a gigantic force, and there's nothing to stop them in the south. There are no units down here. We see some of not Your Horse, sorry, but GLA making their way with their Juggernauts from the north, but it's kind of entering in the wrong direction.
Yeah, the team in the north, Sybert and Manos, decide to just ignore the impending juggernauts coming to rescue this team. EMPs do land. Eradicator Hexapod, Reaper Tripod's going to be making short work of that MCV, but there is a drone ship from Manos and an Eradicator and a Reaper, something from the Nod player as well. The Redeemer burning down that MCV. Pure chaos in the south.
Tripods keep. Ouch.
Massive EMP shots. This is just an insane game, but this is a trap laid by the team in the south. They're collapsing in, trying to control this army, which is tearing through the bases of the team in the south.
Keeping them at bay a little bit with some obelisks of light in the back. The Redeemer's trying. Oh, Eradicator goes down too. Rage Gen from the yellow Redeemer doesn't seem like it's doing a lot. Rage Gen never tends to do much.
That army has fallen apart, though. Whoever that was, like GLA Postal Service and Your Horse, coming together to actually save the team in the south. Phase fires off at the last second. The Spectres from Your Horse have got the mark on that Eradicator, and now they're trying to clear out these Shardwalkers and the Corruptors to save that Redeemer. Juggernauts as well, peppering that army, and that will be the end of this assault. Sybert and Manos have taken over the right side completely. The other guys have left the game, it looks like, and those are the only two left.
Ooh. That Spectre barrage was very pretty to look at. Great use of the movement formations you can do. Just seeing all of the guns load their way up.
There's something magical about seeing that many Spectres fire at once.
It's rare that Spectres get the time in the sun that Juggernauts do, but it's always fun to give them a good look. And it seems like they're not done either. They are just launching shot after shot after shot, and all of the infrastructure built in the bottom right corner.
This game is kind of turning into a north versus south. Sybert and Manos do still have a strong foothold in the top right-hand corner of the map, and the Eradicator Hexapod gets EMP'd in the middle. Spectre's coming through, able to snipe some of the Juggernauts, and the EMP is not enough. The Eradicator Hexapod breaks free and is going to try and escape to the north, but it's too many Juggernauts. The Eradicator comes in, the EMP lands, and that must be the end of Manos' Eradicator Hexapod. No, he breaks free once again, only to go down. This is pure chaos, Bricc. Pure chaos indeed.
So much occurring here. It looks like we've got a whole bunch more Hammerheads coming on the left side here. He's loading up about 9 of them up with rocket troopers again. Looks like he wants to go for the strategy, and they're making their way out with a ton of Venoms too. Taking 2 different flanks, probably gonna go try to take out some of these husks while they have the opportunity, or turn right back around and eat alive a bunch of tripods.
And that stasis coming in from someone on the south side, able to hold the Eradicator Hexapod of Sparta in place, and also hold some of those. Oh, the EMP fires off again, nailing a big group of Hammerheads, but that will be the end of the assault from Manos and Sybert. They've got some stuff in the south, but they have lost their energy.
Sybert, remind me the name of the special power that has the 2 fighters fly in the air and blow up a bunch of aircraft.
The supersonic airstrike.
Why even bother when you've got EMPs this clean?
I mean, normally someone nukes the EMPs for this reason, so yeah, it is looking... The amount of damage that EMP has done in this game has been insane.
These Venoms here are also... They have the supercharged particle beam. You know, a good stack of Venoms with supercharge does quite a bit, but they've just been kind of chilling here for a while. I'm curious if it's behoove of any of them to take those Venoms and, I mean, oh, never mind. I looked up and I see Sam turret, Sam turret, Sam turret, Sam turret, Sam turret. Never mind. Now I know why they're not
the
going
Venoms
for
definitely need
harassment.
Yeah. They might be able to find some kind of an angle. Rift Generator is counted down, so it's ready to go, and there it's going to fire off. It finds the Juggernauts, cuts through them as the Vapor Bomb misses the majority of the army. The MCV of Manos moves forward. It may be a 2v4, but he is not stopping, pressing ever further forward. The Redeemer under threat. Zone heads coming in, Venoms as well. This is going to be the hold here for the team in the south, which is turning into the team in the top left-hand corner. They are going to be losing almost every inch of their southern base if they can't stop this army.
Yeah, the Shard Walkers feel like they're coming in just a little, or maybe just on time. Tripods can't do anything against all that aircraft, but those blue sharded walkers, especially coming in way at the end right there, I think they took out quite a few of the hammerheads and venoms, and they're just, the tripods are just walking in. They're just walking in. They don't need to be invited. They're not vampires. They don't care.
It is just like pure tripod power to chase down the end of this game. Epsilon with one random engineer is going to try and reclaim a tripod Huskin, and he will find it. The Redeemer is still on the ground for Cyber. Manos never rebuilding that Eradicator Hexpod, I don't think, just relying on the pure tripods and the MCV moving. This has been an ongoing fight for Cyber and Manos, and it is down to just Sparta and Epsilon in the north.
If you're looking at the map, I see a whole lot of blue, a whole lot of red, and not a lot of green.
Ooh, the backstab, Firehawks and Hammerheads from Epsilon. He's going to be potentially going for the Rift Generator. He's going for Power Plant after Power Plant, and now he's going for the Tier 2 as well. The beacons on the right side of the map trying to stop this from happening, but the Hammerheads are too powerful. Is it even going to matter,
That's
though?
my question. I mean, they can go for some of the money and the like, but at the... Oh, every time!
Those EMPs just will not be stopped. And this battle on the left side of the map also is not slowing down no matter what happens. The tripods have been rebuilt and reclaimed. Manos has an absolutely insane ground army with all of those tripods.
Even just this Redeemer,
Gen from the Redeemer
walking around, stepping on stuff, burning up husks. It's not a whole lot.
He's keeping that assault alive, that Redeemer.
Redeemer gardening service. You got
keeping everything trim.
You got one Juggernaut here. You know, he's really trying his best. You know, he's putting down some hurt here and there, but I'm not quite sure if it's gonna really matter. He knows where he's at.
Right, that one purple Juggernaut against all of those buildings in the south.
Well, I must admit, all these turrets are all down on power. Well, nope, not anymore. There's another Juggernaut about to get hit by an obelisk of light, and there he goes. Poor guy. I'm not sure.
It has been
what he's waiting for.
Almost like. Right, it's been almost like the entire map getting taken over by Manos and Sybert, and the two of them have just completely engulfed almost the entire map, and now there is no Tiberium left for GLA Postal Service, Sparta, and Epsilon.
Got some Firehawks doing a few bombing runs on the various power plants up down the south, but besides that, I mean, this tripod army, it's coming in. It's making its way over. I'm not quite sure if there's much to do. There's not a whole lot of buildings left. There's no base defenses there. There's a couple hammerheads that might help, but blue shardwalkers just don't care.
Cutting through it all. It's going to be, if nothing else, a base race, and Cyber and Manos are primed to win it. I mean, there's no stopping this army, so...
No, there are too many tripods. They're Reaper tripods. That EMP... You know, not quite as good as the other EMPs we've seen, but an EMP nonetheless. But there's nothing to capitalize on it. There are so many buildings, and tripods have not one, not two, but 3 guns. And they're just kind of walking
and I mean,
their way
that
in.
stasis is nice, but like, that is just delaying the inevitable. There is no ground army to stop this tripod force. It's like... You can stasis it, you can slow it down, but you are not stopping
These Firehawks are coming back from their bombing run. Seems that most to all the buildings are gone, even the Rage Gen, just to add a little more insult. You see a little bit of fighting going on in the top right. There's a vicious MCV unpacking right there, ready to set himself.
The GG gets called. I was looking around. I couldn't even find like what was the last building to go down. And then at some point they finally found it. But what an insane performance there on the ecograph from Manos. He just cleared everyone else by a huge amount.
He did very, very solid. Had the tip spikes for himself, and he didn't really have any of his area really pressured. Most of the fighting was happening in the top left. He was sitting pretty, just farming upon farming, and I mean, we saw that Reaper 17 army when it finally came forward. Once that thing moved its way up, even though it wasn't the game-ending force, it put a enormous dent.
And I mean, that game started out with Beavis and Butthead, as you mentioned, and Sir John's just going crazy in the top side. They were trying to put on that pressure, and they were fighting a 2v4, basically. They ended up getting defeated and kicked out of the game, but yeah, that bought enough space for Manos and Sybert to come together, and the two of them were then able to essentially finish off a 2v4 and win the game. What an insane action-packed match there on Space Garden.
Shocking level of EMPs. Absolutely fantastic. I genuinely think the EMPs won the game. You could say tripods too, but the amount of rocket and zone heads that were taken out, just the volume of cash by well-placed EMPs is, well, it's made a difference.
Yeah, there were more than one, like, backstabs that were stopped by that EMP. That's absolutely correct. And I think that will do it for this game. Thank you all very much for watching. Bricc, huge thanks to you for joining. Just an insane game. Not an easy one on your first cast.
No, a lot was happening, quite a bit, and it was a little difficult to keep myself trying composed and consistent, but I had a really good time. This is my first cast of any of this stuff, and it was a lot of fun. I'd love to come back and do it again.
Well, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and this is Sybert signing out.